In the Nyingma tradition, we generally have two types of followers, practitioners, founders. We have lay practitioners, and then we have monastics. So, like the Sakya and the Gelug, all monastics who are scholars and abbots can wear the Indian Pandita hat. It's the same for all four schools: Kagyu, Jonang, Nyingma, Sakya, Gelug. Doesn't matter. So in the Nyingma, we have a variety of different, slightly different shaped and colored Pandita hats. So in this case, we have to recognize the Pandita hats in the Nyingma tradition just based on general shape. And so this is very common, and then they can be orange, red, or a mixture of yellow and orange. There's a variety of colors that can be used. But then we have the main hat, the main characteristic, clothing characteristic of the Nyingma tradition, which is the Lotus Hat of Padma Sambhava, the founder. The other founder, Shanta Rakshita, he's an abbot from India, and he wears a Pandita hat. But Padma Sambhava is depicted as generally as a layperson, and he wears what's called a lotus hat. Now, the lotus hat is very similar to a cap, except it has many layers of folded cloth that are shoulder-length cloth that are then folded back up over the crown, over the sides of the hat, with many different colors. And at the top, we often find a half vajra, and then we find a vulture's feather. And this can be copied by many, many other Nyingma teachers over the past 1,000 years, 1,500 years. So the lotus hat, even though we associate it primarily with Padma Sambhava, it is also a hat that can be copied and used by other teachers who are predominantly lay teachers, but not exclusively. The monastic teachers in the Nyingma tradition could wear the lotus hat as well. So we get many different varieties. Now, these varieties of hats also change based on art style, regional styles, and just the artist and the artist's vision of what he wants a lotus hat to look like. So there's a tremendous variety in painting and in sculpture of how these lotus hats are depicted. And in some cases, they can be somewhat confused with the cap style that we find in the Karma Kagyu and in some miscellaneous hats in other traditions. Because there's often rules, but then there's always exceptions. So the Nyingmas have primarily what's called the lotus hat, which is very colorful, layers of cloth, and then they have the Pandita hat, again with a variety of colors and some slight changes in shape.